Your mom never had a retirement account. Your grandmother kept cash in envelopes. Nobody in your family ever sat you down and said, "Here's how money actually works." And it's not because they didn't care. They were surviving. Every dollar had a name before it even hit the bank. Rent, light bill, groceries, maybe something left over for gas. Wealth was never part of the conversation because there was never anything left to build with. But today, that silence ends because you are about to become the first person in your family to understand what generational wealth actually means, and more importantly, how to start building it from exactly where you are right now. Generational wealth sounds like something only rich families have. Mansions, trust funds, last names that open doors. But that's not what it really means. Generational wealth is anything of financial value that passes from one generation to the next. It can be a house that's paid off, a retirement account with a named beneficiary, an education fund, even just financial knowledge passed down around the dinner table. And right now, most families don't have it. According to the Federal Reserve, the median Black family in America has a net worth of about $44,000. The median Hispanic family sits around $61,000. The median white family, $285,000. That gap didn't happen by accident. It was built over decades of policy, exclusion, and a system that made it nearly impossible for certain families to accumulate anything. So if you're starting from zero or even from negative, you're not behind because you failed. You're behind because the starting line was never in the same place. But here's what matters now. You are alive, you have income, and you have information that your mother and grandmother never had access to. That combination is more powerful than you think. There's a reason your family never built wealth, and it has nothing to do with how hard they worked. Your grandmother probably worked harder than anyone you know. She just never had the tools. Think about what building wealth actually requires. It requires money left over after bills. It requires access to banking, credit, and investment accounts. It requires knowledge about compound interest, tax advantages, and estate planning. It requires time, years and decades of uninterrupted growth. Now think about your family's reality. Maybe your parents were immigrants who sent money back home every month. Maybe your mom was a single mother working two jobs. Maybe your family rented their whole lives because a $20,000 down payment felt like $1,000,000. None of that is failure. That's survival under pressure. The Federal Reserve reports that 56% of Americans cannot cover a $1,000 emergency with savings, not $10,000, not $5,000. $1,000. That means more than half the country is one car repair, one medical bill, one missed paycheck away from crisis. Wealth doesn't grow in crisis mode, it grows in stability. And stability is a luxury that most families in this country have never consistently had. So the first thing you need to understand is this. Building generational wealth is not about being smarter or working harder. It's about having enough margin, enough breathing room to let money sit still long enough to grow. And you can create that margin, even if nobody in your family ever did before. Now let's talk real numbers, because generational wealth isn't built on wishes. It's built on math. And the math is actually on your side. If you start now, say you earn $3,500 a month after taxes. That's about $42,000 a year take home. Your rent is $1,200. Car payment and insurance together are $450. Utilities and phone are $250. Groceries are $400. Minimum debt payments are $200. That's $2,500 gone. Every single month, you have $1,000 left. Now, most people would say, that $1,000 disappears. Gas, clothes, a meal out, things for the kids, life. But what if you took $200 of that thousand, just $200, and put it into a basic retirement investment account? Here's what happens. At an average market return of about 8% per year, If you start at age 25 and invest $200 every single month until age 65, you end up with approximately $524,000. That's from your contributions of just $96,000 total. The rest, over $428,000, is compound growth. Your money made money, and that money made more money. Now here's the part that should stop you in your tracks. If you wait until age 40 to start the exact same $200 a month habit, you end up with approximately $136,000 by age 65. Same monthly amount, same investment, but $388,000 less because you lost 15 years of compounding. That 15-year head start is worth $364,000. Let that number sit with you. $364,000. Not from earning more, not from investing more per month, just from starting earlier. This is the math nobody showed your mother. This is the knowledge your grandmother never had access to. And this is exactly why you will be the first one in your family to change the trajectory. Now you might be wondering, if the math is that clear, why doesn't everyone do this? Because the system doesn't make money when you build wealth. The system makes money when you stay in the cycle. Think about who profits when you live paycheck to paycheck. Credit card companies earn billions in interest every year. The average credit card interest rate right now is over 24%. If you carry a $3,000 balance and pay only the minimum, you will pay nearly $4,800 in interest alone before it's paid off. That's almost double what you borrowed. Payday lenders charge fees that equal 400% annual interest on average. Rent-to-own stores mark up a $500 appliance to $1,500 over the payment period. Buy now, pay later apps normalize debt for purchases as small as $35. Every single one of these industries needs you to stay in survival mode. They need you to not have savings. They need you to not understand compound interest. They need your $200 a month going to them instead of going to your future. Financial literacy is not taught in most schools. Only 23 states require any kind of personal finance course for high school graduation. That's not an oversight. That's a design choice. When you don't know the rules, you play the game the way they want you to play it, and the house always wins. Until you stop playing their game and start playing your own. The biggest objection you'll hear is this: I don't make enough to build wealth, and honestly, it feels true. When your check barely covers your bills, the idea of investing feels like a joke someone else gets to laugh at. But here's what the data actually shows. Building wealth isn't about how much you make. It's about how much you keep and where you put it. People earning $150,000 a year go broke all the time. People earning $45,000 build six figures in retirement accounts over 20 years. The difference is behavior, not income. So here's your three-step foundation. Step 1. Build a $1,000 emergency buffer, not $10,000, not 3 months of expenses, just $1,000. That single cushion stops you from falling into payday loans or credit card debt every time something breaks. Sell something. Pick up one extra shift a week. Cut one subscription for 6 months. Get to $1,000 and protect it. Step 2. Open a retirement account and automate $50 a month. That's it. $50. Most employers offer a match in a workplace retirement plan. If yours matches even 3%, that's free money you're leaving on the table every single paycheck. If you don't have a workplace plan, open an individual retirement account online. It takes 15 minutes. Step 3. Have one honest money conversation with your family. Talk about debt. Talk about savings. Talk about what happens if something goes wrong. This is the conversation that was never had in your household. And this is the conversation that starts the generational shift. You don't need to be rich to start. You need to be intentional. $50 a month, a $1,000 cushion, and one conversation. That is the foundation of generational wealth. Two women, both 28 years old, both earning $42,000 a year, both from families that never talked about money. Same city, same rent, same bills, same starting point. Person A does what feels normal. She spends everything she earns. When emergencies hit, she uses credit cards. She carries a $4,000 balance at 24% interest. She pays minimums. She tells herself she'll figure it out later. She never opens a retirement account because it feels like something for people with more money. Person B decides to do one thing differently. She sets up automatic transfers. $50 a month goes to a retirement account. She builds a $1,000 emergency fund over 4 months. When her car breaks down, she pays cash instead of swiping a card. She has one conversation with her sister about money, then another with her mom. 5 years later, person A has $6,200 in credit card debt. No savings, no retirement. And the same fear she's always had. Person B has $4,100 in her retirement account growing at 8%. She has $1,000 in emergency savings. She has 0 credit card debt, and her sister just opened her own retirement account. 10 years later, person A is still in the cycle. Person B's retirement account has grown to over $11,000. Her sister's account is growing too. And her niece just asked her, "What is compound interest?" That question, that one question from a child who would have never heard those words in your family before. That is generational wealth. It doesn't start with a mansion. It starts with a woman who decided to be the first. You weren't born into wealth. Nobody handed you a trust fund or a financial plan. But that doesn't mean the story ends where it started. You are not someone who just gets by anymore. You are someone who builds. $50 a month. A $1,000 safety net. One conversation at a time. That's not small. That's the foundation of everything that comes after you. This is not your fault. Nobody taught you this. But starting today, you know. And knowing changes everything. You will be the first one. And because of you, you won't be the last.